And the word went out across CNN and Fox News and the CBC and the BBC, and it went around the world. And all the faithful started praying for the Pope, and many of them made pilgrimage to Rome. And the Sunday after it had been announced that the Pope needed a heart transplant, St. Peter's Square was packed with people. And the Pope stepped out onto the balcony. And the moment he made his appearance, that crowd erupted with one voice. Take my heart, take my heart, take my heart. And there was passion in the haulers. And the Pope couldn't get them quiet. They just kept shouting over and over and over. And the Pope held up his hands for 20 minutes trying to get them quiet. And finally, they hushed long enough for him to speak. And he said, my brothers and my sisters, I can't decide whose heart I should take. So I'm going to drop this feather off the balcony and let God decide. And on whose head the feather rests, that's whose heart I'll take. Take my heart, they kept shouting. He drops the feather. The feather starts wafting down nice and slow. They keep shouting, take my heart, take my heart. Feather keeps wafting down, wafting down, wafting down. And then as it gets closer to the crowd, there's this very subtle change in the cry that the crowd's making. It's, take my heart, take my heart. We all laugh, but inside that humor, there's a piece of truth we don't really want to think about. And that piece of truth is that there's areas in our lives, every one of us, areas in our lives where we say to God, take my heart, but don't open that door. Take my heart, but let's not deal with that issue. Take my heart, but not that habit. That's mine. So in the laughter, I want to just challenge you to be honest with God. Just be honest with God and say, yeah, there's a part of me that I'm blowing that feather away. Help me there. Give me grace to release that to you. Believe it or not, that's not what I came to talk to you about. I want to take you to Mark's gospel, where there's a story, a jewel of a story, about an unnamed hero of mine. Scripture never tells us this man's name. Story goes like this. Jesus, Peter, James, and John are off on an adventure. They're up on a mountaintop having this experience that is mind-boggling. But that's a whole other story. While they're up on this mountain having this experience, the other disciples are hanging around waiting for them. And some teachers of the law have come, and they've started arguing with them. And there's an argument going on. And when Jesus, Peter, James, and John return, the crowd that's around the other disciples, I want to catch this, they were overwhelmed with wonder when they saw Jesus, and they ran to him. And Jesus says, he looks at the situation and he says, what are you guys arguing about? What's the problem here? And a man, the unnamed hero of our story, he says, Master, I brought my son to you to heal, because he has these seizures. And he goes mute and he gets thrown on the ground and he foams at the mouth. I brought him to you to heal. But your disciples couldn't do anything about it. And then I think Jesus addresses his disciples and he says, oh, you unbelieving generation, how much longer must I hang out with you? How much longer must I put up with you? bring the boy to me. They bring the boy to Jesus, and the moment the spirit in the boy sees Jesus, he shrieks, throws the boy on the ground. He's writhing around on the ground, foaming at the mouth. And Jesus says to the father, how long has he been like this? And the father says, since he was a boy. Often he has been thrown into the fire or thrown into the water, and it tries to kill him. And then the man says, Lord, if you can do anything, please take pity on us. Please have mercy on us. Please help me. Help my son. And Jesus says, if you can, everything is possible for him who believes. And then the man says this, I call it a prayer. The man says, I do believe. Help me overcome my unbelief. Jesus touches the boy, commands the spirit to leave him. The boy shrieks and convulses, throws him, collapses on the ground, and is completely still. He's so still that the people watching say, he's dead. He's dead. And Jesus walks over and touches him and lifts him up, and restores him. It's a beautiful story. It's a powerful story. It's a true story. It really happened. We're going to look at in a moment, we're going to look at a clip of this story from Franco Severelli's Jesus of Nazareth. And we're just going to look at it right now. In fact, we'll just look at that clip and then we'll talk about it a little bit. So play the clip, please.
God is coming to you. To all of you. Even the most wretched. Do not shut the door in his face.
The demon has always tried to throw him into fire and into water to destroy him. If you could do anything, have mercy. Help my poor thing. Satan! Leave him. My son, my son.
I don't know how many times I've watched that movie and watched that scene, but that moment when the Father and the Son's restored, and the Father and the Son never fails to get me. But that's not what I'm going to talk to you about. I got one complaint with that, with Zeffirelli's treatment of that. He misses the subtle nuance in the dialogue between the Father and Jesus. He misses it. And for me, this is the crucial thing in this story. And just to make sure that I get it right,